Hmm. O'clock p.m. And once again, it's Friday. Midnight Run is on air. Once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. And I'll tell you right now, we've had a very interesting week, folks. Now, first off, if I look a little dark or blurry, well, I mean, I can't say dark because I'm obviously going to look dark all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if it looks a little dark and if it blurs, it's because my light actually went out. I have a little studio light and it actually went out on me. So I have to get a brand new one. So yeah, focus is going to be bad tonight. I don't have any extra lights or anything. If y'all guys want to know, some person sent me back their Hurricane Heavenly handle and was upset saying this is not what I wanted. You ordered it on the website, but that's okay because I already sold it again anyway. I sell about 50 of these a month, so they don't make much, but they're good to have around. So, tonight, yes, we've got back the cigar. The air level's a whole lot better now, so, and then, of course, I got my whiskey stiffened coffee, and I got water. But one thing that's been really bothering me, which I figured would happen sooner or later, is now that I've lost a lot of body fat, my joints are beginning to squeak again. So, so it's going to be a little hard for me to get up now, which is to be expected. But it'll go away in about a week or so, because all the fat's leaving the joints now. So there's going to be very little cushioning because I have no cartilage in most of my joints. After years of lifting, of course, folks. But you got to handle things like a man, not a biatch. You know? We're not all alcoholics. Hello, Serratus, Lars, John. Yep, that's another thing. YouTube had privated my live stream announcement there, so I couldn't figure out what was going on with that. So, yeah. Once I get another light, there won't be any more focus issues. Well, yeah, I got no cartilage, folks. None. But yeah, a lot of things have happened. Iron Sheik is gone, you know, and I took his word of advice to heart because whenever I had a date, I would always put them in the camel clutch, break their back, fuck their ass, you know, make them humble, then maybe make pancakes or waffles. That's good advice to live by, you know. Break his back, put him in the camel clutch, fuck his ass, make him humble. In one or two of those orders. It just really depends, you know. Shout out to Vegan Gains for coming into himself fully. What you talking about, Lamar? Well, that's the ones that stay overnight. You got to be a good host, you know. I also fix a little tiny espresso in them little tiny cups, you know. It's pretty cool. Don't you fix your Twinks waffles? Oh boy. Nothing wrong with that, folks. I need to get a proper air purifier. Oh, I got the right purifier, Serratus. It's just that the pollen it's more or less the pollen levels, and I like keeping my windows open. So that's just a general preference, you know. It's always good to air out the house every once in a while. No, don't fix no women. Don't fix no bacon and eggs, you know. You want to keep. Make sure the meal is light, folks. Don't put a heavy breakfast. That guarantees that you ain't gonna get no more coitus. You know. You eat light. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. But yeah, Iron Sheik gone. Pat Robinson, I didn't like that guy. You know, definitely didn't like that guy. You know, I grew up with him in the 80s and 90s, and he would always say a natural disaster, regardless as to whether it was Iowa or anything else, was a punishment on God. You know, I hated that. You know, you should never wish punishment from God on anyone, period. You know, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. And then I think something happened to where I think Donald Trump got indicted for the second time. So got hit with 37 charges and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been a crazy week, folks. All the tied it up with this nice little letter saying, "Nyeh, nyeh, 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 nyeh. This is not what I needed. Please send me refund. Thank you, James." Ah, phooey. Fuck you, motherfucker. I'll just send it out to my other customers, you know. I mean, I can't refund him for the shipping that he used in order to ship it to me or anything. So, what am I supposed to do, you know? Really? Hey, Justin, how you doing there? We just hanging out tonight, you know. We just chilling, you know. About to light the cigar. That's another thing, folks. My favorite lighter is missing. I can't find it anywhere. No, it wasn't a troll order. It was a legitimate order. See, I sell a bunch of these. Let me show you here. I sell a bunch of these here. Hurricane Heavenly handles. I get them real cheap from the supplier and then I sell them. So usually I'll get about a couple cartons of them and I'll just pop them out. You know, they're the same things you find in drugstores. When you sell medical products, folks, you gotta, you know, it's not always a drop ship situation. You gotta actually stock products. And these are quite popular. So I enjoy, you know, doing what I need to do with that. But no, it wasn't a troll order. But what it was is something that pissed me off there, you know. Just go and tell me, Carl Jung. I've not heard that name in a while. He's been dead for quite some time, that's for sure. I mean, after all, he was Carl Jung. Are you talking about another Carl Jung that's on YouTube? Because, you know, Carl Jung is a psychologist. So you must be talking about somebody on YouTube. Well, Serratus, it's not a sinus issue. It's just a preference to where even with all my air purifiers, the purpose of having a cigar, it has to be an enjoyable experience, you know. And after going out all day running errands and stuff, because I can only run a purifier in the house. If I got to go out somewhere and run errands, it doesn't do me any bit of good. And by that time I get home, I'm all clogged up and choked up. I can't smoke a cigar. But then again, it's not the cigars are not addictive to me or anything, so it's cool. But we got one tonight. I hadn't really been out today, so. Real NIN1 checking in from Australia. Nasal spray. I don't like using unnecessary chemicals or anything like nasal spray. I also don't like taking aspirins or anything like that, even if I am in a little pain. So, I don't know who that is. Let's take a look. Oh, just another YouTuber. Probably need some fashion advice, but I haven't done cocaine in over 20 years. Yeah, I saw Jay's video of him flexing. He has lost weight, but he's gonna gain it back. I mean, he eats a lot. I mean, Jay Masters was bred for eating chicken wings. I mean, he could take a drumstick and shuck the meat off the bone with just one swallow, So he's going to get fat again, because like I said before, Jay Masters was bred for eating chicken wings, period. Was that like when I did... Yeah, I was doing coke and steroids back in the late 90s. Is COVID over? Shh. We can't talk about COVID here. The question is, was it really here to begin with? You see, here's my thing, folks. It was a legitimate disease and very deadly. And I did get a vaccine and a booster. Because given the fact that most of my family was dropping like flies, I found that whatever this was, my genes was highly susceptible to it, Period. So I did what I had to do, folks. It's a decision. But as far as this is concerned, it's definitely, I would honestly say this could have been a man-made disease. Because once this thing started happening, I mean, everything just shut down, Which is kind of odd. I mean, I think we could have worked through it like we did, because we didn't really shut down in South Carolina, and we turned out just fine. So, the question is, while everything was shut down, what was really going on, folks? What was really going on in America while we were all shut down? When the world was shut down, who was picking our pockets? What was really going on, That's the thing. Did I see your vegan gains question? No, you said something about, him watching femboy stuff. I'm gonna belay on him answering that, as far as making a video is concerned, Lamar. But I think this falls, I'm gonna be honest with you, it falls along the lines as far as him watching orc porn. He's a weirdo and everything like that, so he watches weird porn, so I'm like, I have to put that into the line with all the other stuff he watches. He shouldn't watch it live, definitely. And, he shouldn't be watching it in front of his wife, That's disrespectful, Yeah, I know, Serratus. I'm just not big in putting things up my nose or anything like that. I mean, if things get really bad or so forth, then yeah, I'll use a nasal spray. But, you know, I like using non-things that are available, so. But part of it is because of all the fires that was running around in North Carolina. So those have been gone to an end. So I was getting a lot of extra bad stuff. So, yeah, well. Time to light up. Like I said, my lighter's on the fritz, so I have my pipe lighter. So, of course, folks, as with anything else, we always toast it. And then we're going to light. No, not weed, cigars. My Mercedes is paid for, Justin, but I'm actually going to rework all my cars. I got to get them polished up, to be honest with you. Well, someone has to report him, Lamar. And plus, he always privates his videos by that time to avoid that. I forgot to let you guys know, this is a Mark Twain rough draft cigar. This is these are test cigars from, essentially. This is considered one of their test cigars. And that's what I'm smoking on tonight. So they come in different lengths. This one here is a Habano. It has Mexican and Nicaragua filler in it, so they are varying as far as it's concerned. But the good thing is you get a good premium smoke for a very cheap price. But that's the name of this. This is a Mark Twain. Brad Castleberry. When it comes to bodybuilding, bodybuilders fade away, you know. Brad Castleberry, if I had to take a guess, he's probably just working a regular job at this point. Either that or trying to avoid the strength cartel or something. Oh, Robin, Lamar was talking about Richard. Vegan Gains. No, I wouldn't want to be sponsored by a cigar company. I think it wouldn't set a good precedent. If I was, I would definitely do the Mark Twain. Mark Twain was a great writer. Huckleberry Finn, Tom Sawyer. And of course, Mark Twain always enjoyed a good cigar. But yeah, that's what this is. This is a Mark Twain rough draft. When Brad got called out for the fake plates, I think he got a taste of Rebecca, well, first off, I'm glad you've joined the show. Everyone already knew that Brad was using fake plates. There was no doubt about it. I mean, fake plates have been used in the industry for years. In fact, if you look at a lot of old MD magazines, Iron Man, all the pictures you see of athletes, they're using fake plates. You know, the reason being is they don't want to get the athletes hurt. And the one time where one particular photographer liked having athletes use real weights, the guy went back and crushed his kneecaps, literally. I mean, it was bad. Clyde Brooks, I think. Yeah, that was the guy. Cohibras are awesome cigars. They're not overrated. I like them. I keep Cohibras. I keep them in the humidor, but, I only smoke those on a very rare occasion. Because they are still pretty expensive. At least the good ones are. No, I'll try it, Serratus. I'll try it. Did Ernie Taylor admit... quick pump, the thing about, having an athlete admit to something that we can already see, it really doesn't make a difference. We could see that he already had synthol or some sort of sight enhancement because his arms never looked right, And people can always tell whether someone admits to it or not. I mean, it's like Whitney Houston. I mean, she freaking smoked their kneecaps off with crack, but you would still hear her say, I don't smoke crack. Some people are just set in their ways to where, despite all the evidence in front, despite everything, that they're not going to admit to something. I don't even know what Ernie Taylor's doing anyway. I haven't heard that name in a long time. Ah, Jean-Pierre. Yeah, okay. You look like the baller from the 90s that's selling timeshares. Uh-oh. Well. Damn. I was wondering what was burning. Well, that's the thing about cigarette ashes. Yeah, well, be a man, not a bitch. Now I got a hole in my shirt. But the cigar will not stop, folks. Not for a little burn. Not for a little aches. Not for a little pain or anything. Mark Twain. I'm a big Mark Twain, but I'm big on Mark Twain. Mark Twain's cool. He's alright. Do the Miami Heat have any chance? I think it's going to be pretty close, Robin. I think it's going to be really close between them. It really is. I would love to see a picture with me with a flat top. I've shown that before. It's on my Facebook page. I've showed it on my Instagram. But yeah, I had a flat top for many years, from the early 90s up until like 2000. And I held on to that flat top for way too long. I'll just tell you that right now. I held on to it way too long. Now, Lamar, now. That's the thing about sports here. You can't win them all. And people be getting on LeBron for this and that. LeBron's going to probably retire this year. Honestly, he's probably going to retire this year. If he plays another year, I'm going to be very surprised. Just because you don't have a Facebook doesn't mean you can't get onto it. You can go on Instagram. Maybe I'll put one on my main website, vincegoodrum.com. A lot of people said an N word back in the day, Lamar. You know, it's a product of its time. You bet $7,000? Wow. Robin, LeBron's a billionaire. LeBron's a billionaire. He's laughed all his way to the bank already. He's a billionaire. I probably would have rocked the flat top maybe in 2015 or 2017 when it came back. But generally speaking, I usually kept up with the present hairstyles. That's the same with clothing, for the most part. Well, get a dummy account. I'm not sure why you deleted it out there, Robin. There's nothing wrong with Facebook. Inherently. Oh, no problem, Rebecca. Sorry for being under broccoli head. Means stoner. Well, that's what M says. You did double or nothing? Oh, wow. That's the thing about gambling. Don't. The one thing, folks, if you're going to gamble, don't gamble anything that you're going to get pissed off about. You know, when you go and gamble money away that you're not going to miss at all. You know what I mean? Don't gamble for profit. I mean, if you try to gamble in order to make some money, you're doing it wrong. Gambling should only be for the enjoyment. Who cares, you know? When I go down to Harris, you know, play blackjack, you know, maybe I win a couple of hands, maybe not, you know. If I don't win the hands, I lose my money, that's fine. I save a little bit, leave one for the dealer, leave one for the honey that brought me my drinks, go watch a show, go back to the hotel, and that's it, you know. Just hang out like Bob Hope, you know. Don't get mad over money. You can always make more money, you know. But good times, you know, they're sometimes a rarity. They're worth their weight in gold. Experiences are worth their weight in gold. Johnny Carson been I love Johnny Carson. You know, I had to sneak up. I mean, I had to turn on the TV at midnight, you know, and keep the door closed so my mom wouldn't catch me watching Johnny, you know. He's one of the last of those classic folks, you know. Thoughts on Bam? He's gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. He's on his way to the cemetery. There's absolutely no hope for him. No hope. I'm surprised he's actually still alive. I think what it could be attributed to is it probably is some sort of head trauma or something, CTE, from doing all those stunts and everything. That is just shaking all his screws loose. Nah, I like being bald. I'm like my hero Telly Savalas, you know. Who loves you, baby? Yeah, being bald never goes out of style because, you know, this is the end result. I can either look like George Jefferson or I can look like Jordan. So, Jefferson, Jordan. Now, George Jefferson, you know, George Jefferson's still a cool mug, you know. He used to be able to do the slop. Y'all know, if y'all want to know what the George Jefferson dance is, it's called the Philadelphia slop, you know. It's a very difficult dance to do, you know. Not many people could do it, but George Jefferson, he had the slop down on point. That's for sure. I've never found Jay Masters attractive in any way whatsoever. Far not my type. In fact, the opposite of my type. Well, Robin, it's a matter of risk, you know. It's a matter of strategy. It's like the stock market, you know. But, you know, you always have a good time as far as either winning or losing. You win by strategy. It's a game with stakes, you know, in other words. It's fun, but it also has stakes in it, you know. Stock market, same way. Mm-hmm. 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 Wah! Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wah! Love that Wolf of Wall Street. But you see my point there, you know. But yeah, it's an experience just to be at the blackjack table. You know, you're rolling, you're talking to people and stuff. You're just, it's more or less like socializing. You know, when I go to the Swordfish, you can get your drink anywhere. You know, you can get a drink at home. You can go into a gas station and get alcohol. You know, but you know the thing about it is I go to the Swordfish because I can socialize. I can talk to people, get the best drinks. You know, I'm looking good. I feel good. You know. I like the atmosphere, you know, the music's playing, the Sinatra, you know, the Dean Martin and everything. It gets you in that mood, man, you know. So think of gambling as socializing, you know. Did y'all see my shorts that I put out? See, I went to a little Spanish bar because DT's wasn't kicking or anything like that, and it was already late for Swordfish. So I popped down to Bonjour, Maine. You know, did some espresso martini and some shots with my Latin brothers. You know what I'm saying? I love my Latin brothers, you know. I ain't get tore up to the point to where I couldn't drive home or anything like that. But, you know, I just got to keep it real with you folks. We was having some fun, you know, having some fun. That's what life is all about, is fun. Eventually it runs out, people. You know, it really does. Well, Mara, don't worry about getting a hair transplant. Do bald. Don't spend your money on something like that. It's a waste. Nothing like being bald. I love being bald. Being bald is cool. CTE is gonna get a lot worse, especially from the. I wonder how many people in that in the slap league are gonna have CTE. Yeah, I seen Jay Masters when he was in his 20s, but remember, folks, that was then and this is now. Even in his 20s, I still wouldn't have dated him. He just has a bad attitude, you know. I don't mind the racist stuff or anything like that, but, you know, doing things like taking a dump outside the back of a gym and then going back to visit it every day, that's kind of weird, you know. It's stuff like that creeps me out, not the racist stuff like I'm bred to eat chicken. I kind of laughed at that, you know. So, do I have a long lost daughter? No, I don't. I've never had any kids, but remember, the human face is a palette, so there's only maybe 50 variations of the human face. So, yeah, it's likely that you'll run into someone that looks like you or anyone else. I've even ran into white versions of me. I kid you not, folks, white versions. Now, their nose is a lot slimmer, obviously, but, you know, the face palette was exactly the same. It's a pothead serratus. At least that's in my day. We call the broccoli head a pothead. Well, just remember, Lamar. At the end of the day, if you're gambling and you're not having fun, then don't gamble. You know. Hey, Pugman. Hope you're doing well there. Well, let me explain it. This we used to Bonjour used to be called the restaurant. It was is Bonjour Crepe. It was a French restaurant, and it lagered on as a French restaurant for many years. And some Latin people bought it out, but it still had all the Bonjour stuff on the ceiling and everything, and it was already branded, so they just called it Bonjour Maine. Eventually, they're going to change that name to something Latin, but for now, it's called Bonjour Maine. But it's a Latin restaurant now. They still serve crepes though. They're really good crepes, but it's a Latin restaurant. Rebecca, you shouldn't fear it at all because everyone's got to go one day, you know. You have to I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing there, Rebecca. Everyone's got to go one day, but just try to make sure you do as much as you can in life as you can, you know. You know, go see those places. Go eat at that restaurant. Go do what you want to do, you know. If you want to go and put on, I mean, for you guys out there, if you want to go and put on a mini skirt and high heels there, you know, do that. The biggest thing is try not to have too many regrets in life before you go, you know. That's just my saying. But yeah, interesting story on the Pug Man. It is French, and it used to be a French restaurant, but I think they're working to change it to a Spanish name. So, but it's going to take a while, and then they're going to have to repaint the place because it has Bonjour and it has all this French stuff on it. There was actually, I'm going to tell you right now, there was down in Helen, Georgia, there was a barbecue place that was converted over to a sort of an holistic, into a holistic store selling vegan products and everything. And there was a big giant painted pig on the wall. They couldn't really get rid of it or anything. It would have been too expensive. But they just the only thing they did was paint a joint in his mouth, and that was about it, and it took care of it, so. Sometimes you just gotta paint over things. Robin, everyone has demons. Everyone should have demons. I have demons, he does, Big Lenny. It's just part of life, you know. Most of it is regrets and things you wish you should have done better. Ugh. I don't generally gamble there, Pugman, and I don't usually play the lottery or anything like that. It's just never It's never been one of my things. I prefer working, and not only that, I think that a lot of these state lotteries, I would be contributing to, you know, what it's generally for, and that's exploitation, you know. But I'm not going to play the Powerball. If I'm at a gas station and I feel like getting one ticket or something like that, you know, maybe I might do it, but it's probably going to be doubtful that I get one of those tickets.
How much gold am I supposed to buy? I got some more.
Hugman with a $1,000 donation. How much gold am I supposed to buy? I got some more. Well, Pug, first off, I definitely appreciate the donation. As far as to how much gold you should buy, again, it's like the gold is a commodity, so it's going to be like the stock market. So buy low, sell high. As long as you're buying on the low end of gold, once it goes back up, you're making money. Easy. Uh, but I would treat gold is no different than any other commodity, silver, titanium, or so forth. As long as you get the gold at a very low price, knowing that it's going to go high, you should be fine with it. But again, definitely, thanks for the donation. Really do take care of me, that's for sure. And I've said this before. If you never donated again, it wouldn't make no difference there to me. You've always taken good care of me, but I definitely appreciate that. I'll definitely put that back into the channel as I always do. Let's see here. Wait, so a gay community thing going on? There is a pride parade, but I'm not going to be there. And right now it's turning into a shit fest anyway. I mean, it's getting really bad at this point. Well, we could be dead in 50 years. We can be dead in 100 years. They may put our heads in glass jars and we can live forever. You're not supposed to worry about that. Don't worry about dying. Worry about living, Because if one thing is for sure, you can control your activities you can do while you're living. Just get what you need to get done. Yeah, that guy, that's the thing. I don't believe in doxing. And what Jay did was definitely wrong. Definitely wrong. Jesus Christ. Thoughts on BMWs? Don't get the ones from the late 90s. You have to be very specific on the type of BMWs that you get. Oh, you're talking about black man's... Well, I'm going to go into the car sense. You got to be really careful about purchasing used BMWs because the ones in the late 90s, they're very difficult and very expensive to fix up. And a lot of them have parts that go wrong pretty quickly, so... I'm not a BMW person. I prefer either a Mercedes, a Jaguar, or a Cadillac. I need to have a big car as long as it's not anything with a 4-cylinder, I can deal with a V6 or V8. That's what I need. So. Jeez. Bugman, I got to thank you again for the donation. I'm sorry. Definitely appreciate that. Do I think Jay is still drinking again? If Jay is drinking, he's not going to admit to it. But when you've been drinking alcohol for so long, you do get an addiction to it.
If you've got the upper body, is it easier to build the lower body, or is it easier to build the lower body if you've got the upper body? Vulcan salute.
Serratus with a $5 donation. That's a good question here. It's easier to actually build a lower body because, your legs are something that you use every day from walking to getting places and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier to build the lower body than the upper body by nature. But the truth of the matter is you should evenly make sure everything is tip-top.
Get a piano music clip ready when you debate your cousin.
Vince with a $1,000 donation. I'll definitely get a piano music clip there. That's for sure. And I definitely do appreciate that. Definitely do. You guys always take good care of me. That's for sure. So we'll definitely do a lot of extra stuff now, though. So all right. Let me up here. But Serratus, what I was going over with you was you have to train you have to train your body part evenly. You know, upper body and lower body. You know, you don't want to ignore one or the other. But naturally, it's going to be easier to build legs than arms. But some people just train their upper bodies only, and eventually their upper bodies overtake the lower body. And some people have that impression to where, well, I'm naturally getting my legs trained by walking around every day. But eventually, over time, you know, you're going to have a big upper body and a little lower body. It's going to overtake it. But good question, though. Definitely going to need some coffee after this. You're fine, Serratus. Like I said, I appreciate anyone that donates. You know, anyone that hangs out on my show or everything. So I definitely appreciate your donation there, Serratus. You know. Just, it's not a contest or anything. We're all here to hang out. We're here to have fun. We're here, you know, I'm here to answer all your questions, you know, and stuff. You know, and guys, I'm gonna start doing 3-hour shows. So the show actually is gonna end at 1 a.m. We're gonna review some videos just shortly. So like I said, if you guys have noticed, I've been extending the time as far as the live streams are concerned, because I now have the router that's actually working. So again, you guys can thank Pugman for that, because that thing, I mean, thing was expensive, but it definitely is working there, that's for sure. So probably, chances are, this will be the last week that this show will start at 10 o'clock. From now on, it's going to start at 9 o'clock p.m. and it's going to run to either 12 or 1, you know. So it'll be about a 3 or 4 hour show from now on. If Jay Masters was to compete, he would compete as a super heavyweight. Either a super heavyweight or a heavyweight. I think Jay Masters is over, I know he's over 300 pounds. Now, if I was to compete again, which I've not technically thrown my hat in the ring, but like I said before, folks, I've been losing a lot of weight, and there is a reason why, which it's possible I could be trying to train to compete again, but guess you guys will have to see. Do you think Jay Masters has an undiagnosed ADHD? James, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I don't think he does. I think it's just a matter of years of drinking, starting from his collegiate years. That's had an effect. He said he was 290. Well, in that case, he would be competing as a heavyweight. He wouldn't be a super heavy. If Jay was to get down to competition weight, he would be around 200, probably about 210 pounds. But here's the thing about competing. Whenever you compete, you got to get down to single digit body fat. Now, as big as I am, if I go back into the NPC and compete, I'm going to be competing as a middleweight, or my trophy that I have is a heavyweight trophy. But, I was way too heavy for that show. I was like 192 pounds, My optimum weight at that time was 185. I may end up hitting maybe a middleweight class if I competed on the open. That's what I would try to aim for. That being 5'11", I would seriously doubt that I can get lean and cut at 190 pounds. It would be very difficult. No, Jay wouldn't be ripped at 245. Yeah, shame what's happening with Gary Goodridge. He has on stage dementia. He doesn't have too long, unfortunately. But man, I remember when he locked up that guy and just started dropping elbows on him. That was pretty brutal. But he never did have much luck for further down the line in MMA. James, some people, I mean, that's the thing about alcohol. For some people, they have that addictive nature and they can, when they, and one of the big symptoms is if they're drinking by themselves. Whenever I drink, I'm in a social environment or so forth. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, the last time I've had any alcohol other than the night before was probably Monday. I didn't have any alcohol Tuesday, I don't think. No, I didn't have any alcohol. I just had my Earl Grey tea. Did I see which shark attack there jumped to? From that kid that jumped in the water and then got ate by that shark? Shark attacks are something that rarely happens, but they're even just saying the word shark attack, it brings fear to people. I remember back in the 80s, they used to show these hour-long specials about the dangers of sharks and honeybees and ants and stuff like that, And then, of course, the murder hornets. And they gave the name murder hornets as if they're going to murder you if you get one sting. Just typed up stuff. So, but you'll need to be more specific as far as to which shark attack. But because there's been a couple. Hey, Andrew, I hope you're doing all right. Like I say, I'm doing pretty well there, that's for sure. But yeah, I've been doing pretty well this week. Oh, I almost forgot. Hey, Joel, what's up, man? I almost forgot, folks. Let me show you guys this here. I rebuilt Laura Cravali's website. And I'm going to transfer it back to her. So what happened with Laura Cravali is she had a website, Club Cravali. She had it for like 20 years, and then her webmaster did her dirty. I was able to seize back the domain recently, about a couple days ago. And I was able to recover it, and I just rebuilt the new website. And Joel, it doesn't surprise me that you're high. So I built the basic site. If y'all guys want to go and check it out, my latest work, you certainly can. But once Laura gives me her email address and gets the transfer fees, I'm just going to leave that site over. And the whole purpose, folks, is so she can get herself a little bit of extra income. She's a retired bodybuilder. She's 64, so she may still be getting Social Security. But, you know, it's very important for some of these athletes, especially someone that's a 3-time Miss International, to have a little bit extra money. But we're going to review videos, and we're going to start doing some reviews probably around 10:30 once I start answering questions. So, folks, if y'all have a video y'all want me to review tonight, go ahead and put it in the chat. But as like I said, we're going to do some reaction videos at this point. Joel is smoking weed, so that's why he's high. It's not Molly or alcohol. Good golly, Miss Molly. Andrew, he's doing a lot worse. Obviously, as I mentioned, the nicotine tablets, I felt that they would lose its effectiveness within 2 months, but they're not even working at all at this point. He's getting worse. You know, streaming porn and stuff like that. Wanting raccoons to bite a little girl and stuff, you know. Just all sorts of crazy things. Well, Lamar, it's not when it comes to websites, you know, it's not always about the money itself, you know. If I'm able to take care of something like this, and I seized back the domain, I was able to bid on it quick enough, so it only cost me like $12, and then I built the website back for free, you know, with my own little design, just basic stuff. Well, it's because the nicotine tablets, they don't work, Andrew. And he stopped taking certain medicines as well. He needs to go see a therapist. But the biggest thing he needs to do is get away from live streaming for like a couple of weeks or so. He just keeps streaming and streaming and streaming. Ice Monkey, he'll probably be able to call me that maybe for about a couple more months, and then that'll be it, you know. So I'm not worried about what Richard's calling me. You've heard the old saying, stones and sticks won't, well, sticks and stones won't break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But if you try to hit me with stones and sticks, I'm going to make you suck my dick. Period. Send it through my Instagram or email me at... I tell you what, it's better just to email me at...
Did you ever hit 300 pounds? Got to eat big to get big.
Vince with a $800 donation. My God. No, I got close to 300 pounds. The highest weight I've ever gotten was 290 pounds. At that time, that was when I was on some heavy tren, and I was...
You versus Jason Blaha, right now, Mortal Kombat. Who wins? And please yell, Mortal Kombat.
Let me finish answering Pugman first. I got close to 290, and at that time I was on a heavy amount of tren. I was working at the detention center, and I was actually doing powerlifting at the time. I was trying to see how big I could possibly get, so I was throwing around some very heavy weights here, 110 dumbbells and stuff, chest presses and everything, just going all crazy. That's the thing about tren, folks. Tren will make you put on some weight, you know. But again, I definitely appreciate the donation. You certainly do take care of me here. So, in the game of Mortal Kombat, I would win versus Jason Blaha. My fatality would be the reach around, followed by the camel clutch, break his back, fuck his ass, make him humble. But again, thanks for the donation there. My God. Sorry, I just gotta get my head together after all this here, so. Definitely gonna be able to do a lot of new things there, that's for sure. I had a couple of things that I needed extra money for, which I'll now be able to do. So you guys watch out for what's coming up here. So, do you think Richard is locked in the lifestyle of a creator looking for the next big wave? No, Ancient. What he is trying to do is he's just trying to earn money. He's trying to make a living. And at this point in time, his only source of income is going to be his live streams and his OnlyFans account. But even his OnlyFans account has to be drying up to the point because Jasmine has now got rid of her OnlyFans. There's no more fresh, warm buns, and she's gotten a job. So, yeah. Yes, that was really 800 there, Andrew. Well, anything that's donated, whether it be by I put back into the channel. But I'm going to do a couple of little extra things here as well. So you guys watch out for that. Like I said, thanks to Pugman's help there, I was able to get because that router was a lot of money. I had and plus the service on it there. So, yeah, I do what I can with, try to put everything back in. So that'll definitely cover the service expenses and a few other things. But you guys watch out all, you'll see, because I had a couple of plans that I was going to take care of. So we're going to definitely enact them now. So thoughts on SpongeBob SquarePants? Funny that you mentioned that, Computer Man. If you type in AI SpongeBob, there's a live stream that runs 24 hours a day where their AI created SpongeBob mini episodes. It's pretty cool. You should check that out. Ah, no problem. Sorry, I gotta. My goodness. Oh, it's gonna get the live is gonna get a whole lot better. We're gonna review Frank Tofano's video in about a half hour. So, folks, get your questions in. Don't forget, we're gonna be running until 1 a.m. Like I said, this will be the last day that this will start at 10 p.m. The new live streams are gonna start at 9 o'clock p.m. And then we may even have straight reaction videos as well. Yeah, you guys, y'all gotta watch Lamar's channel. One of my favorite things I like seeing is people gaming. That's just my whole thing. Whenever I was with my ex, one thing I always liked is I sat on the couch and watched him play Zelda on the GameCube and everything. I like watching people play video games. Although it's kind of weird because YouTube seems to not be counting views on Lamar's channel for some odd reason. I know a lot more people watch than what's actually posted up there. It's just kind of odd. But Lamar, you keep doing what you're doing, man. You're going in the right direction. Which Greg, Andrew? Which one? Oh yeah, definitely. Don't forget, Lamar, if you have Streamlabs, you can also simultaneously stream on Twitch as well. So, that opens up things for you as well. What is that doing? Oh, Greg Doucette. I need to really talk to Greg about a couple things. Me and Greg were cool for quite some time. I think I'm still cool with him. I'm just disappointed in his most recent stuff a while back with that whole pill situation. But I've always respected Doucette. Like I said, he has a great cookbook. I mean, it's expensive, but he has a great cookbook, and I've said that numerous times. The cookbook is worth what he's charging for it, not like some other people's books. And I mean, if someone, I always tell people this here. I consider Doucette's book of value simply because, the next best thing would be trying to find a trainer. So having his book is a lot less expensive than hiring someone to actually work out the meals and everything, if that makes any sense. Greg Doucette's good book is a great value if you're going to be competing as a bodybuilder. But, honestly, I need to talk to Greg, to be honest with you, on that and a couple of other things to get things sorted back again so that way our relationship with each other is back the way it was there. But I was really upset whenever he started making these types of videos that are outside of bodybuilding. It just ruined his good nature, especially trying to. He was putting out a lot of clickbait stuff there about Andrew Tate saying that he challenged him. So, Vegan Gains is my third cousin. And if you don't know who Vegan Gains is, just Google the name, check all the news reports. He basically got famous for threatening to kill people that ate meat and stuff. So, and pulling out knives and everything. And if you guys wonder if he's my arch enemy, the answer is no. My arch enemy were not my only two actual true arch enemies that was out there. Well, there's actually three. Keith Jones, he died in 2010. He was the big guy in the movie Over the Top. Derek Anthony, which some of you guys already know, we had some really bad blood. At the Mr. Olympia, he spit on me whenever I was doing a pose down at the Mr. Olympia with Billy Guns. That was something that was organized by Dave Palumbo. The last person that's also an arch enemy of mine is Vince Basile, 1970 Mr. Canada. He's 80 years old now. Those are my only three true arch enemies, if you can call someone an arch enemy. So I only have one left, and that's Vince Bastille. But Vegan Gains was never my arch enemy. I don't consider him as part of the three. But those are my three. Keith Jones, Derek Anthony, Vince Basile. And maybe one day, if I have enough time, I'll explain why me and Vince Basile have some really bad blood. When it comes to bad blood, it's nothing compared to Vegan Gains. It's nothing compared. It goes far beyond that. My thing with Vegan Gains is nothing compared to the beefs that I had with Keith Jones, Derek Anthony, and Vince Basile. Nothing compared to it. But yeah, Keith Jones, 2010, passed away. Derek Anthony, 2013. Vince still seems to go. Chances are he might even outlive me the way things are. Yeah, they're dead. No, he spit on me there, Andrew. He spit on me. But then again, I sent the DVD to his parents' houses, and when he was trying to apply for a police officer's job, I sent a continuous a continuous fax. If you guys are familiar with fax machines, I sent the fax picture of him to the police station that he was applying with him stripping with a police hat on. And it's like, and I wrote on there, are you really trying to hire this guy? When you talk about mints, before there was YouTube or anything like that, we had to do mints a little bit differently. But yeah, Derek Anthony spit on me. Maybe I should play a little bit of it. Here, hold on. Hold on just a minute there. I'm one of the most brutal trolls that's ever been around, so let's see if I could find it. We'll let that load up a little bit. I'll let you guys hear a clip of us. Yeah, I was a pretty nasty person back then. I mean, you talk about, I mean, yeah, I was a troll, that's for sure. Well, I wish things didn't get so ugly between me and Derek, because me and Derek were friends for on and off there, you know. It's just the last portion of his life there, you know, and stuff. Yeah. And of course, I wouldn't consider Guy Grundy, but I called up his secretary and cursed her out and challenged him to a fight and stuff, you know. Like I said, before Vegan Gains, I was...
ALR Industries was
Hold on a minute.
to give the hardcore bodybuilder the edge.
Really, it made me pretty mad. Breakfast, I suppose.
But what?
You know, I just got late.
I put it in, no. GX picked the music and went in no special.
Hold on a minute. I'm going to play this clip from... This is from 2010.
We have Vince Goodrum on the phone. How you doing, Vince?
Hey,
Good, man.
hey, what's up there, Vince? Finishing up on some paperwork, actually. Guess I had some last minute invoices and stuff. But I'm here, you know, you guys got a lot to discuss here.
Hang tight, folks. I'm going to play this back here. If this thing works.
The gay for pay stuff and that sort of stuff, you mean?
Hey, stuff. You know, Bob's never been demon that craves neither.
Were you going to Vegas, Vince?
90s, early 2000s.
Oh, okay, because by then, places like the Gypsy and...
Hang on, folks. I got an idea. Here we go.
Got it, babe.
Do your workouts with them.
Well, how did it,
I wasn't sure. I was either thinking the Carolinas or...
Yeah, I'm not like a dessert person.
Well, how did it, what happened?
On all BPS products, when you...
Well, how did it,
I wasn't sure. I was either thinking the Carolinas or Tennessee area. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're from the South there, you know, you're going to have an accent.
I lived in Louisville, which there really is no accent except when they pronounce the word Louisville. They pronounce
This is from 2010 there.
it Louisville.
Or actually
But
2008 or
I
2009.
lived in Louisville for a while, so I went to the Carolinas periodically. I like it there.
from being from New Orleans, I'm lucky. I didn't get the accent. I didn't catch it somehow.
I know
When
that
you're
is
high
amazing.
up in the mountains there, you know, Asheville's really high up in the mountains, so, well, I mean, everyone has an accent there. I think it has to deal with whether you're on low ground or high ground or stuff.
Oh well, New Orleans is really low ground, sub sea level. So I guess that makes sense. Huh?
Well,
So Vince, Carl, Vince came to my attention many years ago. He's been on Get Big for many years. How many years exactly, Vince, have you been active on Get Big?
I would have to say since 1997. I was originally under another name. I didn't start using my real name until...
No, there was no real YouTube at that time, that guy. There was just podcasts.
2002 when I went to Muscle Mayhem. When Chad Nichols actually opened up that site. A couple friends told me that Chad Nichols was going to open up a site for Muscle Mayhem, so I started posting under there, and I decided to use my real name.
Yeah, we had Bad Boy Leroy Brown on the show, who's an administrator over there. Site was, people don't realize, but that site was incredibly popular back in around 2001, 2002, wasn't it?
It was a wild place. You had me, you had the True Adonis, you had McFarlane.
Actually, the date on this is October 28th, 2009. So this is 2009. But it's going to be funny, folks. Just wait and see.
The days I really miss is when the Usenets was around. You had Dan Duchesne, you had Patrick Arnold, Mr. X, and all the people from Muscle Media 2000. Now, that was some real good conversation, actually.
Is it a lot different between that and Get Big now?
Get Big is like the Wild Wild West, so it's a lot different. A lot of the Usenets was still regulated. If there was an issue or so forth, they would simply, just erase whatever you've written. As far as Get Big is concerned, it's the Wild West of bodybuilding. There's a lot of trolls up there, but one thing I like about Get Big is, they don't kiss anyone's ass or anything like that. When you come up, a pro bodybuilder can come up there and say, hey, I'm such and such, and Get Big will be like, well, we don't give a fuck who you are, and stuff.
What I wonder about Get Big, and I know it's not always true, but I always wonder how many of the people on Get Big actually even work out.
I really don't know. Probably not. Probably more than most people think. Some people just spend their entire lives on Get Big, and, that's just kind of pathetic. I certainly don't. I got too much work to do in order to spend all my life on, discussion boards and stuff.
Sure. So
I spend enough time to make an impression, I guess,
Yeah. So what the thing that really, that I guess you could say piqued my interest was this Billy Gunn's hose down challenge. Can you tell us about that, how that happened, and how you got involved in that?
Well, actually, I was originally contacted by Dave Palumbo to actually do the post down. And then I was contacted by, but at the time I didn't even have the money to go to the Olympia. I was working at Alltel at the time, and I actually got laid off there. So I was offered a deal from a sponsor, I was paid to actually come down there. And it was a good opportunity.
Oh, that guy, you hadn't seen the mints yet. The mints are coming.
For me, because, I just got laid off, I needed some extra money and stuff. And I decided to go ahead and come down there to Las Vegas, do the pose down and everything.
It's interesting because I don't know if everybody knows that you were paid to do that. I think that a lot of people think that you went down there in hopes of, showing up Billy Gunn's just, on your own dime to do it.
Absolutely not. I was paid my hotel expenses, and I was compensated for actually being down in Las Vegas. That was really entertainment. At the time, like I said, I just got laid off Alltel, so I definitely didn't have the money to travel anywhere.
Right. So when you did the pose down challenge, tell us a little bit about it. Like what was the deal? How did it what happened?
Well, I got there at the I was stationed at the El Cortez. We had to do the pre-interview, which was done at the Lux. I met Dave and John, got some stuff together. I cut a few promos and stuff, just to get the whole thing, up and going. Made some comments about Derek. Actually, John had baited me. He's like, go ahead and make some comments about Derek and everything. So I'm like, fine, I'll throw in some waiting around a dollar bill. Just regular ruckus, I suppose.
But why was John egging you on to? I mean, Derek had nothing to do with this particular pose down, right?
That's correct.
So why was John egging you on? I would imagine you would be antagonizing your potential opponent. Why was John getting you to egg on Derek Anthony?
He just wanted to, I mean, I really couldn't.
Vince,
I really
any
can't.
good coffee brands out there? Got a good brew out of Dunkind medium roast from 10 tries. Guessing they're better brands?
Maroon Blue with a $5 donation. Don't get Dunkin' Donuts stuff here. I would probably get Folgers. If you're wanting a premium coffee type, I would get the Folgers 1850 Black Gold if you need something pretty flavorful. But it's going to really depend on whether you like drip blend or espresso. But again, thanks for the donation.
Answer what goes through John.
Yeah, okay.
But John actually was the one that wanted me to, throw a few shots at Derek. But that wasn't what I was there for.
He was probably hoping to rile Derek up, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got there the next day, and stuff. We were doing the interview, and up comes, Derek, just barking and stuff. And I thought he was acting at first, so I just started laughing because, it was an entertainment thing. And then he just goes and spits in my face. I'm like, is this guy crazy or something, and then he just runs behind Columbo. I'm like, man, get him out of here, and stuff. It was pretty rude and unprofessional of him to do that. Because, it was an entertainment thing, and...
This is before you did the pose down?
This was right before I did the pose down.
I bet you that threw you off your game, huh?
Not at all there. I was about to go fight and everything, but at the same time, if I didn't do the pose down, I didn't get paid,
Right.
So,
it made you pretty mad.
Yeah, I was pretty mad, but I was already stuck in a rock and a hard place. So, I was pretty upset. They got him out of there, and we proceeded with the pose down and everything.
And how did the pose down go?
Well, it went pretty good. Got a good crowd reaction and stuff. I think that was the time actually I met ALR, author Ray and Troy. And it's very interesting how that show actually contemplated, and 2 years later, because if I have to say that if I had never did that pose down, I wouldn't have never came across ALR products, and I never would have used them for the following show that I did for the NGA Night of Champions.
Okay, so there's some products.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, Vince. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
And as far as the pose down is concerned, it went off really good. A lot of people there, big crowd, just what everyone wanted and stuff.
What do you think people thought? The people walking in the crowd.
They were laughing their asses off there.
Billy Guns took it pretty seriously, though, didn't he?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised there. I mean, he was. I don't know what they lobbed into him or so, but I certainly didn't take it seriously. I didn't do any training. I was eating all fast food. I had actually went out drinking the night before. I even did that event, so I certainly didn't take it seriously.
Carl, Billy Guns was tanned up. He had been dieting. He had been on some heavy drugs.
Well, I don't use steroids anymore. I've not used them in like 9 years. Actually in 8 years. So.
Do you think you can consider yourself a natural bodybuilder if you've used steroids at some point in your career?
No, because I'm a drug-free bodybuilder. But since I have used steroids, I can't consider myself a natural bodybuilder.
Gotcha. Okay.
At all. But I actually stopped using it because, I used it for my job. I mainly used it for my job whenever I was working as a correctional officer. I was doing security work. I was bouncing for a couple clubs
corrections officer at?
I was a corrections officer in Greenville County.
Any of the inmates using or have access to anabolic steroids?
Oh yes, people sneak them in and stuff, And whenever the pops do them, they do run checks and they find all sorts of stuff. But more or less, it's recreational drugs than actual steroids.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll find ecstasies, Special K, GHB. You'd be amazed what they slip into stuff.
Wow, Carl, you would love working out at a corrections place earlier.
I would not want any recreational drugs. I would just want to get steroids. So
Right. Was there weights there? Probably not, huh?
Not in a correctional facility because I worked at the jail. There's no in the prisons is where all the weights is, and I actually worked there for a time because when you work as a correctional officer at a jail, sometimes you may be called over, to work at the prisons. The prisons have all the weights. The jails don't have anything, but people find ways to get in shape. Even in jail, they put water in some trash bags. They tie them up. They actually, a lot of inmates, they'll actually want to climb on each other's back, and they'll actually do squats that way. It's pretty interesting seeing what they do out in the yard and everything, and they still get in shape. They get their shit done, and stuff.
There's a will, there's a way, right?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you about some of the stuff that goes on at Get Big. There's always rumors, and I'm gonna let you list the rumors because some of them are, I prefer not to list. Some of the things you've heard at Get Big or things that you know about, rumors about people. Why don't you go through some of them for us?
Well, let's start with Bob Ciccarello. People have been saying that he's been caught at the Mirage Hotel and stuff like that. And I want to make one thing clear. Number one, gays actually are not even at the Mirage Hotel. They're actually at the Blue Moon Hotel in Las Vegas. That's the hotel for gay people.
And you have insight on this because you yourself are gay, right?
Absolutely.
And you're married.
I don't give a fuck, actually. But the Blue Moon Hotel is the gay hotel. That's where all the other bodybuilders go actually to, do their things with the other people, and stuff.
The gay for pay stuff and that sort of stuff, you mean?
Yeah,
okay.
The gay for pay stuff. Bob's never been at the Blue Moon Hotel. I've never seen him at Craze neither.
Are you familiar? What years were you going to Vegas, Vince?
Mainly in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Oh, okay, because by then, the places like the Gypsy and Gilo's were probably closed, right?
Right. That's
Gypsies and Gilos, by the way, those are some old gay clubs. They closed down, or they technically didn't close down. They just changed their name.
before my time.
But you've heard of them.
But folks, the mints are really going to come. Just wait and see.
In other words, right?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
I used to date a hooker that I would meet her there after she would turn her tricks because she liked to go there because nobody would hit on her. So I used to pick her up at the Gypsy. Yeah.
You dated some unusual
Well,
ones.
most of the clubs in Las Vegas, they get closed down because of, because they're not just making much money or anything like that. In Las Vegas, you gotta be on top of your game, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're off your game for even 1 week, you're out of business.
So at this Blue Moon Hotel, you saw a lot of bodybuilders doing sessions and stuff like that?
Well, I never actually stayed at the Blue Moon Hotel. The Blue Moon Hotel is usually booked up year round. I have spotted bodybuilders, IFBB pros at Craze, the dance club in Las Vegas. I've actually also spotted one well-known one.
Who? Name some names, man.
I'll just say it has to deal with royalty. He was actually at a club called Studio 6 in New Jersey. Now, one thing...
This guy, he's a king? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, shit, royalty. King Kamali, man.
No.
Oh, not King
Like I
Kamali?
said, I give no names. I don't go and out people or anything like that. But
You put it together, Carl.
This person was actually at Studio 6 there. And I him, how's it going? And I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, car broke down, you know, I had to use the phone and stuff. I'm like, well, you got a cell phone on you, you know, so.
My car broke down, and I had to use the phone as he unzips some guy's pants and reaches in to grab the receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him that's okay, it's cool, you know, and stuff like that, you know. Because I'm not in the business of outing people. You know, I mean, whenever people want to come out, you know, that's fine, you know. But
Do you think this guy
be right back.
was gay, or do you think he was just doing it for money?
Well, let me tell you about the industry in particular. For the most part, you'll see bodybuilders, as far as the gay for pay is concerned, I think there's very few gay bodybuilders, but some of them, you know, because of the amount of drugs that it takes in order to, you know, compete and stuff, you know, I guess they go look for sugar daddies and stuff. You know, they need sponsors, you know, and I'm not talking about muscle tech or anything like that. You know, they need some sponsors.
Sure.
Because of the amount of money it takes in order to actually compete.
Yeah, we've heard that before, Carl.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I think that, you know, a lot of bodybuilders need to focus more on, legitimate businesses. A lot of bodybuilders, you know, they go get a certification. They can do personal training at gyms. You know, they can work at supplement stores. You know, you can still make a decent living there without having to do all the underground stuff there. You know, it's quick money for now, but, you know, your personality, you know, the way people look at you is never the same. If you go work for Jimmy Z Productions, for example, you know, that's gonna mess you up in the long run. It's quick money now, but, you know, overall in the long run, people are gonna find out, people are gonna know about that stuff, you know, and
You think it?
And this is what I was trying to warn Nick Trigilli. So I'm the reason why I'm playing this here is a lot of y'all guys only know me from, you know, recent things from a couple of years ago. But like I said, folks, I've been in the industry a very long time there, you know. And before there was videos, there was podcasts, there was forums and stuff like that. So, but don't worry, folks. Like I said, the mints are going to really come. Trust me.
Tarnishes their reputation permanently.
You folks are going to be glad that I played this.
exactly, it just tarnishes the reputation. And actually, it's pretty prevalent in the sport there, you know. When I first actually went to a couple of shows and stuff, you know, and these are local shows, I was very surprised at the amount of what is happening, you know. But, you know, that's not my problem, that's not my business or anything like that. You know, people live their lives, they have to make their choices in life, you know, and they have to live with them.
Right, sure.
So one thing I do recommend for most bodybuilders, don't get yourself in a situation like that, because it is really about your reputation. That's going to affect your placing. If you're trying to become Mr. Olympia, if you're trying to win you're trying to win some major contests, you know, don't get into this shit like this, you know, because people will just take advantage of you, you know.
So Vince, off that subject a little bit, why aren't you at RX Muscle, man? We, you're all over Get Big. Why not come and register at RX Muscle?
Well, I am registered. I'm just banned.
What are you banned for? What did you do?
Well, it's a long story. What happened is I had posted some normal messages in the main board, and, you know, unbeknownst to me, some of that stuff got moved into the pit, and then one of the moderators went and changed around some of the wording to where I was actually saying I was going to go around raping white women and stuff like that. And that was done by one of the RX Muscle moderators. Either that or actually by Romano, by Sally Ann. I really don't know. I contacted Sally Ann. I'm like, hey, why are you putting the stuff up there? And she's like, well, this is the pit and everything. And one thing about the pit is, yes, you can change around stuff, but I didn't put it there, you know.
trailer section. It got moved to the pit, and then it was edited by one of the forum leaders to say something that you didn't write.
That's correct.
The person that edited it, by the way, was Kurt James, so skinny little prick.
And so when you complained about it, nothing happened, and then it upset you, and it got to Romano, and you offered for him to ban you, and he did.
That's right.
Now, go ahead. I'm sorry, Vince.
And, that's what happened. That's just bullshit, but, I've been thrown off better sites than, RX muscle and everything.
What, are you and Dave and John friends today?
I have no problem with Dave, whatsoever. My problem is with John, I'm not like John ever, he's always, he's always been what's the best way to speak about it? Disloyal. He goes and writes, the first thing that really turned me off about Romano is, you remember a couple of years ago when he wrote that article in MD about sex with a female bodybuilder?
Yeah, I actually do remember that. Did you read that one, Carl?
I don't think so. No.
And he was talking, and whenever you read it, you know good well he's talking about Shelley Bailey, his ex-wife and stuff like that. And that was really, offensive there. But overall, the thing about John...
What did he say in the article? Because I don't remember. What did he say in the article that led you to believe that it was her? And what was he saying in the article? What was negative? What did he say?
He was saying all sorts of bad stuff about...
This article was written around 1998, folks. That's the first time we actually had, because I wrote them at the time you would actually have to write someone like a nice little letter and stuff, like a Dear John letter on paper and pen. So that was the very first time.
Female bodybuilders and stuff. But the main thing, most people pretty much knew who John was talking about. But that's just old news right there. The big thing about John is he went and complained about being fired from MD, and the truth of the matter is, every time that MD Radio came on, it was just like an advertisement for Species Nutrition, and in my opinion there, if you're going to be speaking about Species Nutrition, that's not fair to any other sponsors that are actually paying for that radio show. The radio show is sponsored by they're not sponsored by Species Nutrition. So subsequently, that's why Blackman went and fired both of them. Both Dave and John, because, they were promoting their product on a show that was sponsored by Muscular Development. The show is MD Radio, it's not Species Radio. But I am glad that they did actually go and do their own thing. And you think that was the end of it, but then John goes and starts blasting Ron Harris about him writing everyone else's articles, and a lot of people don't realize is that Ron Harris doesn't write articles for people, he just proofreads and cleans it up for people. That's the way the editorial industry works there. It's not, Ron Harris doesn't write other people's articles for other bodybuilders. Bodybuilders will actually write the articles, and Ron will proofread and he'll clean it up and make it look right. But his name also goes on it because he did proofread and clean it up.
Right.
And that just wasn't true. And then he makes comments about Bob Bohan, who runs the Strongest Shapely Gym. And that was uncalled for. If you have beef with Steve Blackman, you take it with him. You don't go around and actually start targeting other people. That's just not right or anything.
So did you think, Vince, did you think that when they got rid of John and Dave, you thought it was justified?
Oh, it was definitely justified.
But you know what? I got to speak up here. We don't really know everything. We know some of the things, and we can make assumptions that was the issues. But I have reason to believe, and I have it on good authority, that there were other things involved. Nothing is ever just monolithic like that, where it's just, these guys are promoting this product.
All right, folks, I'm going to just tell you right now, don't leave because the good stuff is about to come, folks. This is this is going to be, it's about the really, business is about to pick up. So you want to stay tuned. If you got to use the bathroom, go ahead and use it right now, because in a couple minutes, all hell's going to break loose.
Because that could have been easily dealt with. There were other things involved too. So we're really speculating at this point in time. Unless we're Dave, John, and Steve Bleckman, we really don't know what really took place.
Exactly, and I mean, but I have listened to all the shows of MD Radio, you know, and there was a number of times where species nutrition was thrown in to those shows there, you know, and I don't know everything that was going on with MD, with Steve, with Dave, with John, but that's the way I see it, and that's just my opinion, you know, and that's just my opinion of the whole situation, you know.
Well, I want your opinion on another interesting character, Vince. What about Nasser El-Sabati? They've got some people on Get Big that absolutely love this guy. What's your opinion on him, and what's your opinion on the people that love him?
Well, he won the Arnold Classic, but I mean, I think that the praise that he gets is pretty much overrated. You know, I mean, it's just a bunch of goofballs. You know, speaking about someone who's actually retired, hasn't competed, you know, in many years and stuff. You know, Nasser was a great bodybuilder, but you know, the levels that they take it to, you know, it's just ridiculous. You know, and I don't want to really spend too much time on it there. It's just silly there.
Well, why do you think there's so many people on Get Big that still are like huge fans of Nasser, and he's been retired for many years, and he is not making public appearances. I've tried to get him on this show several times. He's not interested, or at least not at this point. You know, he said he's going to make this book. The book is, you know, never appeared. You know, so what's the deal? Why do these people? What is so attractive about Nasser to these people on Get Big? You think?
I think he's just the flavor of the month. You know, Get Big every couple months gets obsessed with someone. There's Squad Father. You know, there's Team this. You know, then it was Zach. I mean, it was actually, what's his name, Kloss something. He pumped his arms up full of synthol and stuff. You know, just really looked all nasty and shit. You know, you know, Nasser's just the flavor of the month. You know, I mean, I would say check back in about a couple months and it'll be someone else here. It may be a Team Zach Khan or something, you know.
Yeah, they've been liking Zach Khan lately. Everybody's been liking Zach Khan. How about this
Big
guy, Vince Imbecile?
No, Basile.
I thought it was Imbecile.
No, I call.
Now we're going to talk a little, but the mints are coming, but this is what the guy I mentioned, Vince Basile. You'll hear this one. Like I said, that's one of my, if anything, one of my last mortal enemies I have.
Oh, that guy's a stalker there. You know, actually in 2007, he actually called up my hotel whenever I was competing. I mean, I was at the hotel room, you know, and all of a sudden I received this call and this old man gets on and I'm like, who are you, you know? He's like, I'm Vince Basile, you know. I mean, the guy just creeps me out, literally. You know, he's just a crazy old man. You know, he won the 1970 Mr. Canada, and you know, if I'm in my 60s or 70s or however fucking old he is, if ever I'm in my age, I'm definitely not going to be posting on Get Big, you know.
Yeah, he's got a hard on for Bob Chick also, doesn't he?
He has a hard on for, I don't know, Nickelodeon, Disney, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if he's riding around a little white van or anything like that, you know. I mean, the guy's just, you know, the guy's just a stalker, you know.
He has a lot of pictures of you, doesn't he?
He has an insane amount of pictures of me. You know, well, like I said, it just creeps me out there.
Vince, were you surprised that that the poll that we put on RX Muscle was so positively in your favor?
Well, I'm not surprised at all. You know, I have a lot of fans, and you know, without my fans there, you know, I wouldn't be able to. You know, now I make my living solely off the fitness industry. You know, I run a couple fitness websites. You know, a lot of people buy from me and stuff, and you know, and they keep me supported. You know, keep the bills paid. So, you know, that doesn't surprise me at all. But I mean, I have as many fans as I
p.m. on Get Big, and somebody wanted me to ask you about this. He said the hatred or the dislike, hatred is a strong word, between you and Derek Anthony really stems from your husband, supposedly, and this is what he says, your husband was a paid member of Derek Anthony's website, and you caught your husband, checking out Derek's paid website. And so that's what you got upset with Derek, and that was the beginning of the end for you and Derek. Is there any truth to that?
Well, Chris doesn't even spend time on the internet at all, so that's not even true at all.
So
And,
this
he
guy's a
doesn't waste time
fabricator.
with. He's not in the bodybuilding. He doesn't even spend any time on the computer or anything like that. So that's definitely not true at all.
So he's not a member of Derek's site.
He's not a member of anyone's site.
Okay. I thought it was interesting. I thought that would have been a really interesting story if it were true. Unfortunately, oh well. You know?
And
So-
I don't even know who wrote that anyway.
I can't give out my sources.
He's a fucktard, whoever it is there.
You know, when people PM me questions, they PM to me instead of putting them in a thread because they don't want their name mentioned. So that's why we put it. So look, we have an interesting game we play occasionally called Fuck, Marry, Kill. You've heard of this before?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
So we're gonna do the.
Athens, what we're doing is we're going to have some real mints tonight. We're going to run the show probably till 1 or 2 tonight. So, Aaron's about in his 40s. He's a little younger than I am. The mints are really going to come, but what we're playing is a old interview that I did in 2009. So, this is some classic mints, folks, but you're going to love it. Trust me. This will make Big Lenny's mistress thing look like a wet dream. Trust me.
gay version tonight, okay?
Okay.
So you got
What's the
start with
difference?
easy. What you got something, Carl?
I was going to say, what's the difference? Usually, we ask a guy
That's
to
true.
pick 3
That is
guys that they would one day.
This is my gift to you folks, by the way. This is my gift. I've been holding this. I've been meaning to play this for quite some time, but you'll see.
Fuck, one they marry and one they kill. 2 of those
That's
answers
true.
are gay.
That's true, but this time we could say it, and it's
It's legitimate,
There's no
okay.
tricks.
Okay,
There's no
okay.
tricks.
All right.
It's okay. We're gonna keep this one's gonna be easy, and it's gonna be fuck, marry, or kill. Derek Anthony, Dave Palumbo, or John Romano.
I'd probably kill them all like OJ.
Oh, you gotta pick one. Come on, that's no fair.
Oh, gosh.
You gotta pick one to fuck, one to marry, and one to kill.
It's okay. We won't hold you to it. You just have to say it.
Well, fuck Palumbo.
Okay.
Marry Derek and kill Romano.
Okay.
Isn't it funny? Because I chimed in once and said I'd marry Derek because he earns a good living.
Yeah.
And if you're like my wife, you don't have to fuck him. So.
Well, it's like picking a choice between brown lumps and gray sauce or gray lumps and brown sauce. You know?
Okay.
I mean, I would say kill them all there, but
Okay. So you're familiar with Mr. G?
I'm familiar. I mean, I've only met
I've seen
Mr.
him.
G one time. He's
seen him.
the one that talks about shitting in his pants all the time while working out and stuff, right?
Right. That's him. That's Mr. G. You know him. Okay. So we got Mr. G. Fuck, marry, kill. Mr. G. Billy Guns, or Bob Chicarello.
Mary Bob, fuck Mr. G, kill Billy Guns.
Do you and Billy Guns get along, or is there some animosity between you two?
There's no animosity between us. You know, Billy actually helped me out a couple of years. After the show, a couple of friends of mine from home were I don't want to get into too many details. They were trying to dig up some dirt on me, and these were friends of my husband's here, you know. And Billy let me know about that stuff, you know, and I was able to take care of it. And at the same time, about a couple months later, some stuff was going on in North Carolina that I let Billy know about. So I mean, there's no animosity between us, you know. thing about Vince Goodrum is Vince Goodrum is just a character. You know, while I am the infamous Vince Goodrum, it's at the same time, whenever I turn off the computer, it goes back to being Melvin Goodrum, the one that goes and helps out on Meals on Wheels, the one that takes out the garbage, the one that, feeds his pets, the one, and stuff like that. And I want people to understand that, Vince Goodrum is just a character, It doesn't represent my true life or anything like that.
Right. Well, before we get too far away from Fuck, Marry, Kill, Vince, we got one last one.
Oh, I got one more?
One more, and you're done. I promise. It's the last one.
It better be, man. I'm telling you.
It'll be some more attractive guys this time. Not that the other ones weren't attractive, but we got PJ Braun. You're familiar with PJ, of course, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Michael Liberatore or Jose Raymond, who's single now.
Oh, let's see. Fuck Jose.
Okay.
Marry PJ. Kill Michael Liberatore.
So PJ's the lucky guy.
Yeah, me and Mike Liberatore had a couple of issues, but we're cool now. Jesus freak, though.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anyone's lucky in that one there.
Well,
Vince Goodrum is real, Andrew. The reason why I said that is, and it's true, as much as things are concerned, I'm for the most part an entertainer, but what you see is what you get with me as well, so.
Thank you for playing along. Thank you for playing along, Vince.
Not a problem at all there.
So the next segment, when we come on, we're going to have Derek come on. That's what people wanted,
Yeah, I understand. That's what like 70% of the people, wanted and stuff.
Now, folks, you better go to the bathroom because you don't want to miss the next part after this commercial because here comes the mints, folks.
Right. Well, so what the plan is we're going to have Derek on. You two can have a conversation. Hopefully, you'll.
And it doesn't have to go any way.
It can be completely amicable. You guys could become best friends on the show.
We've made peace on this show before. So.
You said you married him, so.
I'm going to give you guys a warning. If you stay around, well, you'll see. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you have sensitive ears, I would tune away at this point in time.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, stay tuned. When we come back, we will have Derek Anthony on with Vince Goodrum. And who knows, if these two guys can make friends, maybe we can get the Palestinians and the Israelis together, too. We'll be right back.
No, I'm not just a character, Serratus. What I was doing in terms is that I was basically saying I'm not an all bad guy, I actually do. I'm not just an evil person like most people think I am. So that's what I was bringing up to a point as. I'm the real Vince Goodrum, believe me.
Industries. ALR Industries products are backed by 3 decades of experience in the science and lifelong dedication to bodybuilding from its founder.
Gotta do the commercial first.
Author L. Ray. In 2001, ALR Industries was created to give the hardcore bodybuilder the edge you need to build the perfect beast. Hyperdrive 3.0 is a synergistic blend of fat-burning herbs which yields the most potent legally available formula on the market today. Hyperdrive 3.0 will burn fat, control your appetite, improve your mood and focus, and give you an energy boost you've never experienced. Restore blocks estrogen, enhances libido, and optimizes free testosterone. You'll be stronger, recover faster, and build muscle like never before. Then fuel your workouts with the great tasting and energy enhancing Hyper Shot. Hyper Shot will boost your athletic performance to new levels, allowing you to train harder, improve your endurance, and get the most out of your time in the gym. Whiting is not an option for those who refuse to accept mediocrity. Visit ALRindustries.com today.
Lipotropic protein is a great tasting, nutrient-dense protein that contains a precise blend of genus protein, whey concentrate, whey isolate, egg protein, micellar casein, and milk protein isolates. It's nutritionally complete and can aid fat loss while building muscle. Genus protein contains advanced polyphenols that can help the body ramp up thermogenesis, but they also added betaine, which has been shown to help convert nutrients to muscle versus fat. If you want your protein to become muscle and not fat, get a 5-pound jug of lipotropic protein at lgsciences.com today. lgsciences.com. Hardcore supplements backed by science. You train, diet, and prep. Pay for choreography, special music, and tanning. Shouldn't your posing suit enhance your presence and not detract from it? That's why you should only trust Elite Stagewear. EliteStagewear.com will help you stand out on stage and get the credit you deserve. EliteStagewear.com can custom make your one-piece, two-piece, or bikini in under 2 weeks. Mention this radio ad and get a custom two-piece suit in your choice of color and fabric with up to 400 rhinestones custom made for you for just $175. Free shipping included. Visit EliteStagewear.com today. You have one chance to get it right. Don't step on stage without Elite Stagewear. EliteStagewear.com. IronFlexSupplements.com is your one-stop superstore for all your supplement needs. IronFlexSupplements.com prices are 30 to 60% below retail, super fast shipping, and the best customer service on the internet. They carry a full line of protein powders, ergogenic aids, creatine, pro hormones, and weight loss aids. Check out BPS Anabolic 411 Extreme, branched chain amino acids with more leucine for greater muscle growth, or BPS Slim Sane for greater insulin sensitivity and muscle uptake of nutrients. Get 15% off and free shipping on all BPS products when you use the coupon code BPS15 at IronFlexSupplements.com. Visit IronFlexSupplements.com today.
Species Evolutionary Nutrition. The Species line of products champion original thinking and carries that thought process to its logical conclusion in the form of unique supplements that strictly adhere to the core nutritional principles of Dave Palumbo, founder of Species Nutrition. Visit SpeciesNutrition.com to purchase the next generation of high-quality supplements available today that fully adhere to the theory of natural selection, which insists that only the fit survive. SpeciesNutrition.com. RxMuscle.com. Now you have a place to turn when you want the truth on bodybuilding, diet, and exercise, up-to-the-minute news, and more. Visit the RxMuscle.com forums featuring celebrity Q&As with IFBB professional athletes, top amateurs, and the brightest minds in the industry. Listen to our weekly radio shows, including Heavy Muscle Radio, Muscle Girls Inc., After Hours, and more. Contest coverage, videos, even our own social networking site, RX Muscle Place. Visit RxMuscle.com.
If you're stuck in a rut, looking to compete, want to make your mark in the fitness industry, or just want to look your best, Aaron Singerman can help. Sign up for 12-week, 24-week, or a full-year training packages. All packages include training, diet, supplementation, and hormone optimization plans. Periodic and regular phone consults, email communication, and text messaging included in all plans. Contact Aaron Singerman today at aaronsingermanfitness@hotmail.com. Hey Aaron, this is Rumble music, isn't it?
Yes. Does that mean Rumble music? In a fight?
This is the Henry Rollins band.
Oh,
All right, folks, from this point on, well, okay.
Rumble music.
Henry is a mean, mad fucker, isn't he?
Yeah, he's on one of my favorite shows this year, Sons of Anarchy. It's like a motorcycle gang
Right,
show on
right.
FX. He plays the neo-Nazi, like one of the leaders. Very, very good actor. Very angry looking.
He's very angry in general.
Did you ever like Black Flag back when it was popular?
Yeah, I liked it a little bit. I used to like when he used to go on Howard Stern's show. He used to like scare the shit out of everybody.
He's a pretty intense dude.
Yeah. Speaking of intense dudes, we've added a new intense dude to the conversation here. We have Derek Anthony. How you doing, Derek?
Yo, yo, yo.
And we still have,
My anger is off the charts. The Yankees getting their ass kicked.
and we also have Vince still on the phone there, right? Vince, you there?
Yeah, I'm still listening there. You need to tell G-String Xylophone to put on some better music or stuff.
Okay. That's a good one. GX, G-String Xylophone. I gotta remember that one. That's funny. Anyway, okay, so here we go, guys. People wanted you guys on the show together because they figured it was going to be inflammatory. So, what are we going to do?
We don't want anybody. Derek has got to keep his blood pressure under control.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I heard you was at 120 over 80. Yeah, I heard you was in the hospital there, Derek. Excuse me? I heard you was in the hospital or so. You doing all right? First of all, I was going to actually say, I actually have a little bit of respect for you because you kept it low tone. You didn't say anything disrespectful. And last night I even told Aaron, if he said something stupid, I'll rip you a new asshole. So you want to make this fucking X-rated or G-rated? Don't be no wise ass and act all tough now, okay? I mean, it's actually, I was going to give you some credit because you didn't step over any lines and disrespect me. But if you're going to start disrespecting me now because I'm actually on the phone, don't act like you did at the Olympiad and didn't do shit. Or the Arnold, or whatever it was. So, how do you want to go? Do you want this X-rated? Well, let's get it X-rated then, if you'd like that. Well, no, that's your husband, because your husband likes me X-rated. No, that's your husband, because your husband likes to watch me X-rated. Little Christian, right? He's a fucking member to my fucking member section. And he was, so why are you covering that up? I actually have his IP address. Well, my husband does have a car and everything, you know, if he needs to get motor oil or an oil change or so forth, you know, but... No, you're tits, bro. You got big tits in my fucking girlfriend. I mean, come on. Are you referring to Valvoline or something? You know? Come on, bro. Oh, that's the best you got? That's the best you got? Keep your blood pressure down. Keep your blood pressure down. We don't want your arm out. Go get some braces. You little fucking chiclet teeth. You look like shit. I feel bad for you. I saved your life at the Arnold. Okay? I should have kicked your fucking ass. And now you're being all tough. Now you're being all tough.
All right, wait a minute. Look. We're going to have to moderate. We're going to have to moderate. We're going to have to moderate. We got to moderate. Look.
Now you're being all tough and shit.
Let one guy...
That's exactly what you did at the Arnold. Fucking all shit. Yep. And first of all, James didn't save you. Romano saved your ass. Because Romano got in front of me, Mr. G got in front of me, and I was going to pummel you a fucking new hole in your head. What did you say you said? Wait, didn't you say you had a knife in your fanny pack and you were going to stab me? Didn't you say you were going to do that? Yeah, I was going to cut you wide open there. Oh, yeah, really? And I'll feed you some oil? Wide open. And feed you some oil? Give you some of my oil? Derek, you have no idea. You don't talk shit, bro. People feel bad for you, bro. You look like shit. The dirt on my shoe looks better than you. I got fucking more muscles in my trim than you do in your whole fucking body. Did Jimmy D tell you? Yeah, he paid me off. Yeah, your husband was at the show. Your husband paid me $50. I gave him a fucking bicep for you fucking ugly fuck. Let me tell you something about you, Derek. And here's some hard time for you, Derek. I'm gonna give it to you straight up. Shoot. I'm gonna give it to you. Come on, Vitsy. What do you got, Vitsy? I'll own you, bitch. I'll always own you.
Go on, Derek. I'll tell you what you got.
Let Vince talk.
Fucking trailer, bro. You drive a fucking Taurus.
Let Vince talk.
And you bigger than you. You work for us, Derek. Remember that. I work for you? No. I steal from you, motherfucker. I ain't money off your ass. Dollar bills, dimes, euros. Oh, you're fucking gay. You fucking worship me, motherfucker. You are a stripper. You have one arm. I've been stripped in fucking 5 years, you clown. You do what? You said straight. Are you saying what year was Jimmy D? 2002. Anything for a Klondike bar. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Bro, I strip for women for 7 years. $8 bill. I do you clowns a favor, and I let you fucking worship me, you fucking homos, and I steal your money, and that's why you're living in a fucking trailer. $1 at a time. What are you, living in a trailer? You living in a trailer. Let me Exactly. You're going to end up in an alley, Derek, if you keep on going. Listen, I ain't in an alley. I'm living in a town out to the fucking Hamptons. You're living in a fucking trailer with your fucking chiclet teeth. You keep taking those drugs. You keep doing all this stuff, Derek. I've been doing it for 6 years, you fucking homo. You're out of control, Derek. And you're sugar tits, and I own you. Look at how you sound. You sound like an idiot. You are an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You talk more shit than me. You're a fucking clown. You're a fucking clown. You're going to end up
While I was wrong about him ending up in an alley dead from drugs, he ended up in a hospital bed, dead of drugs.
Look like the way I do it. Look like you're fucking fat. You and the fucking disgusting, bro. You look like shit. Go fucking pick some fucking cotton, you clown. You're fucking your joke. Hey, you're fucking your white boyfriend that fucking worships me. Tell him I'll give him a guy in the cam show. Yeah, exactly. Tell him I'll give him a guy in the cam show, Izzy. Tell him Izzy I love him. Tell him about you, Izzy. I know your blood pressure. You don't have anything? It ain't your blood pressure. It's those recreational drugs you use. It's those recreational drugs. Yeah, okay. Fentanyl. It's all the drugs that you're doing. Yep. You know you're under control. If you don't clean up your life, Derek, you're going to end up in an alley. That's why you got to fucking release it down. You're going to be homeless. I'm going to be homeless. Bro, I live in a townhouse in New Hampton that's paid for. You live in a trailer, you joke. You got bigger tits than my mom. You're fucking a loser. I felt bad for you. I did you a favor. I did you bad for me? Yeah, I feel bad for you. Bro, look at you. People make fun of you. Wait, let me ask you something. You said you have as many fans as you do. I'm making a complete fool of myself there. You have as many fans. Answer me the question, sugar tits. You have as many fans as you do. Who are these fans? Down my pants there. Who are these fans? Who are these fans? Name one fan you have. What do you do for a living? You are a stripper. Yeah, you are a stripper. I'm a trainer. I have real estate. What else? You use steroids. You use synthol. That's going to catch up with you one day, Derek. Bro, you fucking look like shit. You? You look like shit, man. Take some steroids, please. What do you got in your arms there? Are your arms real? My arms are 100% real. Your pay off. Your pay off.
Carl?
Like your pay guy.
Yeah, go ahead, Aaron.
Hey, but there's...
Wait, I'm gonna have to mute that microphone. What do you think?
Go fly away, monkey boy.
Hey, hold on, guys.
You know what you're doing. You're going to end up in an alley, I'm telling you. An alley?
Hold on,
That's your
hold on.
fucking husband.
Hey, hold on.
Fucking white trash.
Should we organize this somehow, Carl?
Am I getting this?
Well, why don't we just ask some questions? Let's get some questions on the table.
Yeah, let's get some questions, guys. Wait for your comments. After the question, each person will have a chance to comment, okay?
Okay.
All right, so a little more organized. Derek, is there any hope for you all to reconcile and be friends?
I was actually to come on here. I listened to every single word he said. I was actually shocked he didn't talk shit. And I was like, you know what? He doesn't sound like a bad guy. Then he does the same exact thing he did the last time. He even admitted it. It's all an act. It's all bullshit. The guy is gay, and he worships me with his husband, and now he's just coming in here to be all tough. When he shit his pants, and I felt sorry for him, and I didn't lay a hand on him, because I actually felt bad for the guy. The guy was, I mean, no offense, Vince, you're ugly, you're fat, you got no bill. I felt bad for you. Who cares? I do shit door. Who cares I got hand restoration? I'd rather live until 29 with my life than what you look like now. You look like shit.
Okay, Derek,
Okay.
Your comments are made.
And he lived to be 32, so 3 years more.
So now it's time to give Vince a chance to speak. Vince, you have a retort?
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to make it simple. Garrett, you abuse steroids, you use recreational drugs, you put synthol on your arms, and you strip for old people. And the only place it's going to end up. Will you shut up for one moment? I'm trying to put some real information for you here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to listen to you, Dad. You are running your life into the ground. Yeah, okay. And what's going to happen is...
Come on, Derek, let him talk. You can have a chance.
Oh, yeah. Catching up now. It's catching up with you. Yeah, sure. That's why you are all of that stuff that you're taking. Yeah. Okay, Doc, you're a doctor, right? A doctor that lives in a fucking trailer with bigger tits than every fucking girl I know. Yeah, you know a lot of shit. It looks like you'll be fucking kick your feet, Colin, you fucking clown.
You want to talk about your health problems? Do you want to tell them?
Did I get into something? Ask question, because I'm not going back and forth. I can't even fucking understand the clown.
Derek,
I got questions.
Actually, I'm fine. Clean up bill of health.
I got questions.
You're telling me you've never been to
Oh. Hold it. Listen, I got questions, okay? First of all, Derek, Vince admitted that during the showdown with Billy Guns, he was egged on by another party to pull you in and say some inflammatory things about you.
Wave a dollar bill at the camera or at you.
And so it was never his intention to do that. It was never his idea to do that. What do you think of that?
First of all, I didn't even see that video. I got there that day, and I came running, looking for him, and I was going to, whatever. Second of all, when I saw him, I swear to God, I was like, I can't fucking do this. I mean, I thought the guy would be like a tall fuck. I mean, I never really saw him in person. First impression, I was like, what? Am I seriously going to do this? So I was going to hype it all up, boom, 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 boom. Nothing happened. The guy was going to do a pose down. I mean, come on. I mean, look at him. I'm going to fucking beat him up. Vince, you know I can kick your ass. I mean, let's be real. You said you were going to stab me with a knife. I truly doubt that. That is trash. You're calling me in. I'm going to be in an alley. You were going to stab a fucking person you don't even know? I mean, come on. Let's get it real. You wouldn't be the first person. You wouldn't be the first person. Oh, so you stab people? I won't cut a bitch anytime. And that is what we call ghetto trash. That's ghetto trash. So you have a criminal record? You stab people? Hey, I'm from the ghetto. You stab people? That's nice. So you have a criminal record? You fucking stab people? I have no criminal record. I have no criminal record there. Wow, that's nice. All right, next question. The guy thinks,
So in other words, it doesn't...
Doctor Good Tits. He knows my health. Yeah. You read shit on the internet, bro. Let me tell you something. Don't read everything and you think it's real. Okay? Do you know me? Do you know my family? Do you know my friends? So you don't know shit about me. So you don't know nothing about me. Nothing to do with recreational drugs? Absolutely not. It's a hereditary disposition. My father had a heart attack. My uncles both have high blood pressure. My grandfather had high blood pressure. It runs in my family. Just like I'm sure your black ass. Just like your black ass has fucking diabetes. That's why you're going to be a victim too. Maybe I will, but that's hereditary. The doctor said if I wasn't as healthy as I was from eating clean and being a healthy person, I probably would have been dead because my fucking artery was bad just like my father's. You don't fucking know me. So the steroids didn't do anything. The recreational drugs didn't do anything. Well, I don't. You think I do as much steroids as the pros? You had absolutely at all. You think I did as many steroids as the fucking pros? I don't think so. I have done steroids in my life. High blood pressure? I mean, it's hereditary. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Hereditary? Okay, the doctor even said it. I'm not talking about my health with you. You don't know fucking shit, bro. You live in a fucking trailer. The hereditary thing I see is how crazy you are, I am crazy, motherfucker. That's the truth.
Carl, your questions, Carl. Go ahead.
I got a song that one of the fans, couple of fans at RX Muscle wanted me to play this song for you two guys. Just the two of us. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. I think it was Larry C said that I should play this for Derek and Vince. So there you go, Larry. I did it. So there's no chance of you guys ever like making peace. I've got to be honest with you. I thought, especially when
Carl, I swear to God, I've narrowed out my life and tried to, fix things, get shit together. I was actually listening to how he was talking. I was like, he's not talking.
Right, and then he said he would marry. He said he would marry you.
He starts talking shit.
Well,
I didn't. No, I didn't. Why don't you play the show back and see what I said? I asked if you were doing all right. Nah, yeah, you're being a wise ass. That's the first thing back there. That's the first thing you say. Are you all right? You get out of the hospital. You want to turn it into a